My stepmother told me to fetch firewood from the evil forest. Everyone in our village knew no one returned from there after sunset. She knew that too, yet she still smiled when I left.
Ada walked through increasingly dense vegetation. The trees grew closer together, their branches forming a canopy that blocked out the sun. She'd been walking for what felt like hours, and the village was far behind her now. Strange sounds echoed through the forest, bird calls that didn't quite sound right, rustling in the bushes that seemed to follow her. She pulled her wrapper tighter around herself and continued forward. The trees opened into a small clearing. Ada paused, looking around. Then she saw it. A creature unlike anything she'd ever seen. It looked somewhat like a baboon, but wrong. Its back was curved in an unnatural, grotesque hump that seemed to pulse slightly. Its body was covered in patchy fur with large areas of bare, greyish skin, showing through diseased-looking skin covered in strange markings. The creature's face turned toward her. It made a sound that was somehow both laughing and crying, a horrible keening wail that made Ada's blood run cold. She froze, unable to move, unable to breathe. The creature tilted its head, studying her with two intelligent eyes. Then it laughed, cried again, and bounded away into the forest, moving with unnatural speed despite its deformed body. Ada stumbled backward, her heart pounding. Silent tears began to flow down her cheeks. "Please, God, please let me survive this," she whispered.
Ada was sweeping when Ngozi emerged from her room with an unusual cheerfulness. "Ada, come here, child." Ada approached cautiously, wary of this sudden kindness. "Yes, Mama Ngozi. I need you to do something for me, something important." She produced a small cloth with a crude drawing on it, a strange flower with 6 petals. "I need this flower for medicine. It grows in the forest at the edge of the village." Ada looked at the drawing, then at Ngozi. The the evil forest? Yes, but don't worry. You'll go during the day, you'll be fine. Ada's voice shook. "But Mama Ngozi, it is the 4th market day, and tonight is the full moon. Please, don't make me go there. Not today. Any other day, but not." "Are you refusing me?" Ngozi's voice turned cold. "No, after I've given you food and shelter, after I've treated you like my own daughter." Nkechi appeared in the doorway. "Mother needs that medicine, Ada. Are you so selfish that you won't help her?" Ada felt trapped. No, I'll go." "Good girl." Ngozi handed Ada a small sack with some roasted palm kernels. "Barely enough food for half a day. Don't come back without the flower. Do you understand?" Ada nodded, fighting back her tears. Ada stood at the edge of the village, looking toward the forest. The path ahead was overgrown and ominous. An elderly villager, Papa Izzy, saw her. "Child, where are you going?" "The forest, Papa Izzy. I must find something there." Papa Izzy looked alarmed. "The forest? Today?" "Child, no. Not on the full moon." "I have no choice," Ada said quietly. She began walking. Papa Izzy watched her go, shaking his head with deep concern. Ada walked through increasingly dense vegetation. The trees grew closer together, their branches forming a canopy that blocked out the sun. She had been walking for what felt like hours, and the village was far behind her now. Strange sounds echoed through the forest, bird calls that didn't sound right, rustling in the bushes that seemed to follow her. She pulled her wrapper tighter around herself and continued forward. The trees opened into a small clearing. Ada paused, looked around, then she saw it. A creature unlike anything she'd ever seen. It looked somewhat like a baboon, but wrong. Its back was curved in an unnatural gross hump that seemed to pause slightly. Its body was covered in patchy fur, with large areas of bare grayish skin showing through diseased-looking skin covered in strange markings. The creature's face turned toward her. It made a sound that was somehow both laughing and crying, a horrible, keening wail that made Ada's blood run cold. She froze, unable to move, unable to breathe. The creature tilted its head, studying her with two intelligent eyes. Then it laughed, cried again, and bounced away into the forest, moving with unnatural speed despite its deformed body. Ada stumbled backward, her heart pounding. Silent tears began to flow down her cheeks. "Please, God, please let me survive this," she whispered. She forced herself to continue forward. Ada pushed through a particularly dense thicket. Her wrapper caught on thorns, tearing. Scratches appeared on her arms and legs. She emerged into another clearing, breathing hard. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the trees, deep, booming, seeming to come from everywhere and nowhere. "You." Ada spun around, searching for the source. "What are you doing in this place, child?" "I'm looking for a flower. My stepmother." "This is not a place for the living. Don't you know what day this is? What time?" Ada sank to her knees, tears streaming down her face. I know it's dangerous, but she will kill me if I don't bring it back. She gives me no choice." Her voice broke into full sobs. "I have nowhere else to go, no one to help me. If I go back without the flower, I'll be beaten, starved. She'll make my life even worse than it already is." Silence. Ada waited, her body shaking with fear and exhaustion. The voice didn't respond. After several long minutes, Ada realized it wasn't going to speak again. Should I go back?" she asked the empty air. No answer. "Or continue?" Still silence. Ada took a shuddering breath and stood. She looked back the way she came, then forward into the forest. "Forward, I have to go forward. There's nothing for me behind." She continued walking. Ada walked for another hour. The light was starting to fade. Evening was approaching. She came to a stream. It was small, the water only ankle deep, but it stretched across the entire path. She approached cautiously, testing the water with one foot. It was cool and clear. She began to wade across. Halfway across the stream, another voice spoke. This one was different, softer, almost melodic, but no less otherworldly. "Why are you here, little one?" Ada stopped moving, the water swelling around her ankles. "I'm looking for a flower. I was sent by my mother, sent into the evil forest on the full moon. She must love you very much." The voice was gently mocking. "She doesn't love me, she just wants me dead." "And yet you came, and yet I came." Ada started moving again. "Turn back, child. What you see comes with a price." Ada almost laughed. "Everything comes with a price. I've learnt that well." She reached the other side of the stream and didn't look back. "So be it," the voice said, fading away. The forest was growing dark now. Ada was exhausted and frightened, but determined. In a small clearing ahead, she saw a figure, struggling with a large bundle of firewood. It was an old man, the same one from the dream that morning, though Ada didn't realize this. He appeared ancient, his back bent with age, struggling to lift a heavy bundle of wood onto his shoulder. Uncle, let me help you. Ada rushed forward. The old man looked up, his eyes widening in what might have been a surprise, or perhaps recognition. Child, what are you doing in this forest? Please, uncle, let me help you with that first. She took the bundle of wood. It was heavier than she expected, but she managed to lift it onto her head. The weight made her legs tremble, but she didn't complain. You are far from the village, the old man observed. I am looking for a flower my stepmother sent me. On this day, this night, Ada nodded, tears threatening again. Come, we will talk more at my home. He began walking, and Ada followed. The firewood balanced on her head. They walked for several minutes. The forest seemed to shift around them, paths appearing that weren't there before. They emerged into a small clearing. In the center stood a modest hut, well kept despite its obvious age. Here, put the wood inside. Ada entered the hut. It was simple but clean. A sleeping mat, a few cooking pots, some calabashes for water. She carefully placed the firewood in the corner and rushed to leave. Where are you going? To continue my search, uncle. It's getting dark, and I still haven't found. Sit, rest, eat. It wasn't a request, it was a command, but spoken kindly. The old man produced a small bowl of food, simple pounded yam, and a thin vegetable soup. But to Ada, who had been living on scraps and burnt rice, it looked like a feast. Uncle, I couldn't. This your food. Eat. Ada obeyed, her hunger overcoming her reluctance. She ate quickly but neatly, savoring every bite. The old man watched her with ancient, knowing eyes. Tell me about your stepmother. And Ada did. The words poured out, years of abuse, neglect, cruelty. She told him everything. How she woke before dawn every day. How she did all the work. How she was fed only burnt food and scraps. How her stepmother turned away suitors and spread lies about her. How she had been sent to this evil forest on the worst possible day. The old man listened without interrupting. Do you see, uncle? I must find this flower. If I return without it, I don't know what she will do. Afraid she will kill you. Yes, Ada said simply. And if this forest kills you instead, at least it will be quick. The old man was silent for a long moment. You have a kind heart, child. Despite everything, you remain kind. My father taught me that bitterness is a poison we drink ourselves. I don't want to become like her. Wise words. He stood. Sleep now, you are exhausted. We will speak more in the morning. But what of the flower? We'll still be there in the morning. Sleep. Ada lay down on the mat he indicated. Despite her anxiety, the moment her head touched the ground, exhaustion overwhelmed her. She fell into a deep sleep. Ada woke to daylight streaming through the cracks in the hut's walls. For a moment she was disoriented, then memory flooded back. The old man was sitting nearby watching her. You slept well. Ada sat up quickly. I'm sorry, uncle. I didn't mean to sleep so long. You should receive your reward. Reward? But I didn't do anything. I just helped you carry. You helped an old man without being asked, without expecting anything in return. In a place of fear and darkness, you showed kindness. You stood, gesturing for her to follow. Come. They walked behind the hut. Ada gasped. Behind the hut stood a tree, unlike any Ada had ever seen. Its bark shimmered with iridescent colors. Its leaves seemed to glow from within, and hanging from its branches, instead of fruits, were eggs. Dozens of them, each one different. Some white, some speckled, some with swirling patterns that seemed to move. Uncle, what is this? Ada breathed. A gift for those who prove themselves worthy. He looked at her intently. You may take 2 eggs. Only 2. No more, no less. Do you understand? Yes, uncle. Choose carefully. Ada approached the tree, her hand trembling. There were so many eggs, each one beautiful and strange. She reached out, drawn to 2 eggs that seemed to pulse with a gentle warmth. One was pure white, the other had delicate golden patterns swirling across its surface. She plucked them carefully, cradling them in her wrapper. Good. Now listen carefully. When you reach your home, take these eggs to a place where no one can see you. Break them only when you are completely alone. Do you understand? Yes, uncle. And take this as well. He produced the exact flower she had been searching for. Ada's eyes filled with tears. Uncle, how did you? The old man smiled slightly. There are many things in this forest that are not what they seem. He pointed to a path Ada had noticed before. Follow that path. It will lead you home much more quickly than the way you came. Thank you so much. Ada knelt, pressing her forehead to the ground in gratitude. When she looked up, the old man was smiling at her with genuine warmth. Go now, child, and remember, break the eggs only when you are alone. Ada followed the path the old man indicated. To her amazement, she could see the village in the distance within minutes. A journey that had taken hours before now took mere moments. She looked back, but the path had vanished. The forest edge looked normal, unremarkable. Who was that man? She whispered to herself. She held the eggs carefully against her chest and walked towards home. Ada approached the house just as the sun was setting. She had only been gone one day and night, but it felt like a lifetime. Ngozi was sitting outside, grinding pepper in a clay mortar when she saw Ada. The pestle slipped from her hand and clattered to the ground. You are alive. Her face went through a rapid series of expressions. Shock, confusion, then quickly covered with forced concern. Ada, my daughter, I was so worried. You were gone so long. She rushed forward, but Ada stepped back, her eyes cold. I have your flower. She produced the bloom. Ngozi's mouth fell open. You found it? Yes, may I go to my room now? I'm very tired. Without waiting for an answer, Ada walked past her stepmother into the house. Ngozi stared after her, stunned and suspicious. Ada entered her small room and bolted the door. She checked the window. It was closed tight. She pulled the eggs from her wrapper, looking at them with wonder and slight apprehension. Break them only when I am alone, she whispered. She took a breath and brought the first egg down sharply against the clay floor. The shell cracked and light poured out, brilliant golden light that filled the room. As the light faded, Ada stared in disbelief. The floor was covered with treasures, gold chains and necklaces, shimmering coral beads, silver anklets, wrappers made of the finest cloth, cowrie shells, brass coins, and precious stones that caught the lamplight. She broke the second egg, and even more wealth appeared. Jewelry, fabrics of silk and damask, brasswares, carved ivory combs, and more gold than she had ever seen in her life. Oh my God! Ada fell to her knees breathless. She picked up a beautiful wrapper, holding it to her face. Tears streamed down her cheeks, not from sadness this time, but from overwhelming relief and joy. Thank you, uncle, whoever you are, thank you, she whispered. The next morning, Ada emerged from her room wearing one of her new wrappers. The fabric was rich indigo with intricate patterns. and she tied it with a confidence she never had before. Gold beads hung around her neck and wrists. Ngozi was sweeping the compound. She looked up and froze. Where did you get that wrapper? It was a gift, Ada said calmly. A gift from whom? Someone who helped me in the forest. Ada walked past Ngozi, her head held high. For the first time in years, Ngozi's eyes narrowed with suspicion and envy. Over the next few days, Ada's life transformed. She used some of her wealth to buy good food, fresh fish, proper palm oil, ripe plantains. She bought a new sleeping mat, soft and thick. She had new wrappers made by the village tailor. She also shared with the village, buying treats for the children, helping elderly neighbors with food and firewood, contributing to community ceremonies. The villagers loved her even more. Ngozi watched all of this with growing fury and confusion, but she forced herself to be sweet. One evening, she approached Ada with a forced smile. My dear daughter Ada. Ada looked at her wearily. Yes, Mama Ngozi. I've been thinking, I've been too hard on you. You work so hard and I haven't appreciated you enough. She sat beside Ada. That wrapper you are wearing and the others have seen, they are so beautiful. Where did you really get them? I told you, I met someone in the forest who helped me. Ngozi's voice became sweetly persistent. But how exactly? Please tell me the whole story. You know Nkechi has been asking. She wants to know how her sister came by such fortune. Ada looked at Ngozi for a long time. Despite everything, despite years of abuse and cruelty, Ada still had a generous heart. She sighed. Well, very well, I'll tell you. Ada told them everything. She described the journey into the evil forest, the groots, laughing, crying creature, the mysterious voice that spoke from nowhere, meeting the old man struggling with his firewood. She told them how she had helped him carry the food to his hut, how he had given her food and shelter, and how he had shown her the miraculous tree. Eggs on a tree, Nkechi interrupted, her eyes wide with excitement. That gave you treasures. Yes, but you must remember, the old man said to take only 2 eggs, and you must break them alone, completely alone, with no one watching. Ngozi sat thoughtfully. Only 2 eggs. Mother, I want to go. I want to get treasures too. Nkechi bounced in her seat. No, it's too dangerous. But Ada went and she's fine. I'm stronger than Ada, braver. I said no. Nkechi's face twisted with anger. Tears filled her eyes. You never let me do anything. Why should only Ada have nice things? I want gold and wrappers too. It's not fair. She stormed to her room and slammed the door. Ngozi sat silently, thinking hard. That night, Ngozi entered Nkechi's room. Her daughter was lying on her mat, still sulking. Nkechi, what? Nkechi didn't turn around. If you truly want to go to the forest, I won't stop you. Nkechi sat up immediately. Really?